Welcome to today's 5-minute Bible study in the book of Daniel. We're looking at Daniel chapter 3. Nebuchadnezzar has created this image which everyone must worship. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego have refused. They will not worship the idol. Nebuchadnezzar gives them one more chance. Reminds them, no God, he says, can save you from my hand if I throw you to that furnace. But they told Nebuchadnezzar, our God is able to deliver us. But even if he does not, we will not worship your image. So now it has come their punishment. Nebuchadnezzar orders them into the furnace. Let's pick up the reading in verse 19, chapter 3. Nebuchadnezzar was furious with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and his attitude toward them changed. You see, a moment ago, he was willing to give that second chance. But now his attitude has changed because, in his mind, they are being arrogant in their disobedience. He ordered the furnace heated several times hotter than usual and commanded some of his strongest soldiers to tie them up and throw them into the blazing furnace. So these men, who were wearing their robes and their turbans and all of their outer clothing, were bound and thrown into the furnace of fire. The king's command was so urgent, the furnace was so hot, that the flames of the fire killed the soldiers who took Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego up to the fire. These three men, the three Hebrew youth, fell into the fire. So the order is carried out. Nebuchadnezzar is so angry that he orders the furnace superheated. Even the soldiers who bear them close enough to throw them in are killed by the intense heat. And the three Hebrew youth are thrown into the fire. Nebuchadnezzar means them to perish because they have disobeyed his command to worship the idol. But then the unexpected happens. Verse 24, Nebuchadnezzar leaps to his feet and says in amazement to his advisors, were not there 3 men that we tied up and threw into the fire? They reply, certainly, your majesty. Look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire. The 4th looks like a son of the gods. As he peers into the furnace, he can see the figures of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Rather than writhing in pain and agony, they're just simply walking around in the fire, seemingly unharmed. It seems their God can save them, Nebuchadnezzar's thinking. But then he's really surprised because he sees there is a 4th person with them in the fire. We threw in 3, but I see 4 walking around, and that 4th one looks like a son of the gods. And so Nebuchadnezzar shouts out, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out. Notice what he says about the God of the Hebrews now. As he had in the last chapter, when Daniel interpreted the dream, he said, he is the God of gods. And now he refers to him as the Most High God. He is the Most High God. I thought no God could deliver people from the furnace, but your God is the Most High God. Obviously, he can deliver you. So he shouts out to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, please come out of the furnace. So they come out of the fire, and everyone saw that the fire had not harmed their bodies. Not even a hair of their head was singed. Their robes were not scorched. There was no smell of fire upon them. What a deliverance. Now Nebuchadnezzar knows that the God of Daniel, the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, not only can interpret dreams, he also can deliver from the fire. He can take care of his children. And he says, that's what Nebuchadnezzar says, praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel. Now that was the 4th one he saw. Who has sent his angel and rescued his servants. They trusted in him and defied the king's commands. They were willing to give up their lives rather than serve or worship any God except their own. Therefore, I decree that the people of any nation or language who say anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego will be cut to pieces and their houses be turned to piles of rubble. For no other God can save in this way. Now, we're still not to the point where Nebuchadnezzar recognizes there's only one God. He understands the God of the Hebrews is the Most High God. But notice how no other God, he says, can save in this way. We've still got a ways to go to get him to full conversion. But he's changed a lot. Earlier he said, no God can save you from my furnace. Now he says, no other God except yours can save in this way. So he does recognize that the God of the Hebrews is the God Most High. We just need to get him to the point where he recognizes he alone is God. What a mighty miracle this was. As the Hebrew youth, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, are delivered from the fire, demonstrating their faithfulness to God and God's ability to save them. No God can save in this way, says Nebuchadnezzar, no other God. He recognizes that the God of the Hebrews is the Most High, and he is. What a wonderful lesson we learned from chapter 3 of Daniel. Hope you join us tomorrow for our next session in our 5-minute Bible study in the book of Daniel.